classwork, extracurriculars, family obligations, a job, the typical pre-med will try to add MCAT studying until the pressure just builds and builds. Eventually, this leads to a mentally fatigued and burnout testing. I'm Hansgraf, and in my own MCAT journey, I decided to make a change and to spend more effort focusing on something that often goes undiscussed in the MCAT world: mental health. According to a study by Kaplan Test Prep, a whopping 26% of pre-meds experience stress pretty much always, and another 48% experience stress frequently. This alarming statistic only shows the constant pressure that pre-meds are under during their MCAT and other parts of their application. In my own MCAT journey, I try to focus on things that I could add, as well as things I could eliminate for my well-being. Let's start with the things that would be helpful to eliminate from your current MCAT routine. The first thing to eliminate is overstudying. It is super important to limit your studying to very specific hours of the day so that you are not constantly being bogged down by thoughts about what you should be studying, this car's passage, or different Anki flashcards that are just swirling through your mind. Instead, it's helpful to create specific times that you're studying and specific times that you're not studying. The second thing to eliminate is constant comparison. And this one was a big part of my own journey in well-being and mental health during the MCAT, because I would constantly pull up my phone, scroll through Reddit, and look at how well people were doing, how well people were improving their scores, what did they score on this full length or that full length, how are they doing on the QPACs. And this constant comparison, both online as well as friends and peers at my own school, was not helpful. I wasn't focusing on the right things, and it ultimately just made me feel ineffective and definitely speeded my road to burnout. The last thing to eliminate is unattainable expectations. A great way to eliminate unattainable expectations is to make SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. A big part of making SMART goals for me was making them achievable, the A. For instance, if you are scoring 120s in the car section, it's not a SMART goal to try to score a 132. Yes, this does happen, but it is exceedingly rare and it is very hard to get to. Instead, focus on smaller steps. Maybe shoot for a 122, and then a 123, and a 125. Work your way up slowly with SMART goals instead of trying to make big jumps in scores or big jumps in time improvement. Now let's move on to things that you can add into your MCAT routine that will help create better mental well-being and a better internal as well as external environment. The first thing to add into your MCAT plan is truly restful and efficient study breaks. I cannot tell you how important these breaks were for me. Instead of just pulling up your phone and scrolling through social media or YouTube, I found it much more helpful for me to have truly restful and efficient study breaks. This often meant getting up from my desk, walking outside, getting some sunshine, grabbing a bite to eat. I also tried out breath work as well as meditation, and these are some things that you can throw in and avoid things that aren't restful, such as anything involving a phone or online or anything that would raise stress. The next thing to add in your MCAT routine is something I find myself telling just about all of my MCAT one-on-one students, and that's to focus on the 3 pillars of health: diet, sleep, and exercise. And these are things that we hear day in and day out, but they are so important for not only improving our quality of life and our mental health, but also studies show a strong link to students who focus on these factors of their life in their test scores and their performance. You can look up some recommendations online, but the recommendations I stick to are try to get 8 hours of sleep every night. Make sure that you're going to bed and waking up at the same time each day. Focus on whole foods as well as water as your primary beverage. Exercise, just try to get outside, get moving at least a little bit each and every day. And the last thing that I would love for y'all to add to your MCAT routine is what I call the 4th pillar of health, which is social connection, adding in quality time with friends and family. And so during my last month of MCAT prep, where I was just so focused on the AAMC material, doing my full lengths, I was studying 8 hours a day, every day, I found that my favorite part of the day was closing my laptop and going on a walk with my little sister or calling up another family member. And so for me, these times of the day were perfect for just decompressing, talking about nothing about the MCAT, not worrying about anything coming out, my next full length or my next QPAC. Instead, I could really just focus on something else. And really, that helped me de-stress from all my studying of the day. If you like this video, be sure to check out other YouTube videos, as well as our great group of tutors that would love to walk in this journey with you, helping you figure out the best course of action to help you study well for the MCAT, but also not get burnout.